This week, I embark on an epic trip around the world to fly on all 17 airlines in the SkyTeam Alliance back to back. Flight 1, 2, 3. Number 17. 12 days, 43,000 miles and 23 flights as I set out on a quest to win 1 million air miles. I am a YouTuber, get me out of here. Right then, Cancun in Mexico, starting point for my big adventure. My first SkyTeam airline is Aeromexico. Right then, flight 1 Aeromexico across to Mexico City today. It's too early, I need caffeine. So the first of my SkyTeam airlines is Aeromexico, and I decided to fly from Cancun because it worked out a lot cheaper for me than flying from my home base of Houston, Texas. The first flight was on a 737 MAX 8 and it took me across to Mexico City to connect with my next flight on Aeromexico. Right then, Mexico City first stop today. I've got another Aeromexico flight now south out of Mexico. All right, then the big question then, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to fly every SkyTeam airline? And the answer is really, well, I am chasing a prize, and that prize is one that's been offered by SAS Airlines, the Scandinavian airline. You see, they recently joined this SkyTeam Alliance, and as part of that, they made a bit of an offer that I couldn't really turn down. You see, they offered if you fly on 15 SkyTeam airlines in 2 months, they will give you 1 million air miles. That's a lot of air miles, and that's a challenge that I thought I would take. But we're not just doing the bare minimum of 15 to get that. I'm going to try and aim to get on every one of the SkyTeam airlines, all 17 of them. Hola.
Siguiente pasillo a la izquierda, por favor.
Gracias.
Hola.
Alright, first long-haul flight of the trip, 9 hours now on Aeromexico's 787 down to Santiago in Chile. Now, although I booked all of these flights initially in coach class or economy, I in the end decided to upgrade many of them using the upgrades that they offer. Part of the reason for upgrading a lot of the flights was that, for a start, it would give me time to sleep on some of them, which were really long overnight flights, but also because I'm starting off with this challenge with absolutely 0 miles in my SAS account. I'm a basic member. Flying in business class gets me more points, which means by the end of this trip I should be gold status with SAS. Alright then, Santiago, Chile, back here again. I was only here the other week actually, but for now we're back off to the Holiday Inn. Alright then, made it to my hotel. I'm going to try and get some sleep, and then tomorrow we carry on with our SkyTeam adventure. Well, good morning. Now it's time to get back over to the airport. Hey. I am, yeah, how are you?
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, it's spotted here in Chile as well. Right, let's get across to the International Terminal. And so I am flying today on KLM, who are the national airline of the Netherlands. I've flown on them an absolute ton, but never on a route like the one I'm doing today, because this is just from here in Santiago across to Buenos Aires in Argentina. Right, last time I was here, passport control were an absolute nightmare, so let's see what it's like today. Hopefully it's a bit better. Unfortunately though, my optimism was pretty short-lived. Really not better. It's actually 10 times worse than it was last time, and I don't even know if I'm going to have time to get my flight, actually, because it leaves in 2 hours now from here, and we're here. We've got to go the entire distance of the terminal before we even get to the beginning of the hour-and-a-half long line that I hit last time. Fortunately, it didn't take 2 hours, but it wasn't much quicker. It took 1 hour and 40 minutes to get through the entire mess of this line. Right, finally through all of that mess. That took me 1 hour and 40 minutes to get through. It's a bit worrying because these flights I've got some pretty tight connections, and everything is literally back to back. If one flight goes wrong on this trip, then it throws the rest of the trip completely out.
Have a good flight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi there. Hello.
Hi there. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. 6K.
Straight ahead and to the left.
All right, thank you. 6K. This way.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
here.
you. Hello.
No.
Then airline number 2 on my SkyTeam adventure, KLM. 3-hour ride across to Buenos Aires, Argentina. It wasn't long before we were pushing back from the gate for the short 3-hour flight to Buenos Aires. This flight is a fifth freedom flight that KLM operate. It's a tag-on of their flight from Amsterdam to Buenos Aires. I decided to book this flight because there's quite a lot of SkyTeam airlines in Europe, and I thought one less to do over there might make things a bit easier. This flight was actually really nice. They came around with a really nice meal for this flight as well, and I even got one of the best things about flying on KLM. Oh yay, look what they handed out. I didn't think you got these on these little short flights like this, but you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
40 minuten.
Sorry.
40.
Right then, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Right, I need to go through immigration here because I've got a connection, but it's like a 9-hour connection. All right then, it seems that I can't check in for another 5 hours yet, but my flight's in 9 hours time. So it's currently 3 o'clock. I can check in at 8 o'clock apparently. Just booked myself a day room at the Holiday Inn at the airport. I didn't know there was a Holiday Inn here, so I've just managed to have a look at it, and they do day rooms, so I'm going to head over there. It's quite easy to get a taxi at Ezeiza Airport. There's stands inside the terminal that can sell you a ride. I have a day room booked for this afternoon.
So you told me that you already have the reservation, right?
Yes, I booked on your website.
Can you show me again the confirmation?
Do you have a confirmation number?
Yes, I've shown.
Because today we have no availability.
Okay, so what happens if you don't have a room and I've booked? What happens? Do I?
It's strange because all the web pages are closed.
Okay.
But we have no. It's strange.
Yes, I literally booked at the airport. So this is the right hotel, though, yeah.
Yes.
It's the right hotel, yeah.
We are gonna honor that amount.
Okay.
140.
Okay.
And checkout time is 6 p.m.
Okay, if that's okay. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to cause problems. That was a bit of a nightmare, wasn't it? Flipping out. So the website sold me a room that wasn't available. It's a few hours here rather than waiting in the airport, and it means I can get a little bit of work done while I'm here, maybe. A bit of editing done, potentially. Got Wi-Fi. Right then, it's 6 o'clock. Time to head back downstairs and get on the shuttle bus back to the airport for my flight tonight. Welcome back to Buenos Aires Airport. Let's go and see if we can get checked in now for Airlines Argentina. Right, finally made it through. That was a nightmare. We're well over an hour waiting in line again to get through security, and then there was passport control, which was a whole other mess. But never mind, we're through. Finally to airside at Buenos Aires. Now on trips like this, sometimes having a smartwatch can be a little bit of an issue because, well, with that watch that I often wear, the battery dies constantly, and also I'm trying to stay on US time at the minute, so every time you land it also updates the time, and it gets really, really frustrating. So for this trip I'm wearing my Holzkern watch, and thank you to Holzkern, by the way, for sponsoring this video. I've got the Holzkern Aoki watch at the minute, which is made from genuine lapis lazuli, which is a stone. It's a gemstone, and it's apparently good for stress, which is really helpful on this sort of trip. But anyway, they make some amazing timepieces that I've just really started wearing recently. I've got my other watch as well at home, my other Holzkern watch, which is made out of wood. Just incredible. They make these watches from natural materials as well, so everything that you get from them is going to be made from a genuine stone or wood or something like that. Beautiful pieces of time wear, and I just love the way this looks as well. It's that perfect sort of balance between really fancy and practical at the same time. It's really good. Right now, Holzkern are giving you a fantastic offer of 15% off when you use my promo code Noel15 at checkout. And remember, any orders placed by December the 19th are guaranteed to be delivered by Christmas Day.
Hola, buenas noches. Cállame, por favor. Sí.
Aerolíneas Argentinas. Over the Atlantic coast to Madridios. Hola, buenas noches.
Permítame, señor.
It's 8.
8, sí, mire, si quiere por aquí.
Airline number 3, Aerolíneas Argentinas, Airbus A330. So my flight on Aerolíneas will be a 10-hour flight across the Atlantic Ocean to Madrid in Spain. Now I will be doing a full video on this airline coming up soon, but it was quite a nice flight really. I managed to get a few hours sleep and then I woke up the next morning over Africa. It wasn't too long though before we were starting our descent into Madrid's Barajas airport. Gracias, thank you. Gracias. Alright, Madrid, Spain. Time to start the European leg of this trip. Thank you. Gracias. I'd booked a night at the Hilton Hotel near the airport, which was about a 10-minute drive. And then welcome to Madridio, after Aerolíneo Argentino. I'm going to try and get a bit of rest tonight, and then, yeah, I will see you in the morning. Good night. Morning. It's 4:40 in the morning. I've been up since about 1 o'clock this morning. Not really slept well. My body is firmly on Central Time. But that said, if I do remain on Central Time, there's an interesting problem because the next 2 days, all of the flights that I take happen to coincide with the middle of the night Central Time, which means that I'm going to have to pull all-nighters for the next couple of days, but that it does get better. Hola, buenos días. Gracias. Thank you, have a good day. So airline number 4 is Air Europa, who are a Spanish airline. So I've got to fly with them today across to Rome as my first leg. We've got a busy day today. I've then got another 2 airlines after that to do today. It's a bit grim, this airport is. I have to say, it's like a bus station. I remember Madrid airport being really nice over at Terminal 4. Thankfully I didn't have to wait for too long because soon it was time to get on board my flight to Rome.
Vale, muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
Thank you. Hola, buenas. Airline number 4, Air Europa, across to Rome. I ended up upgrading this flight on Air Europa to business class, and it was actually quite a nice flight. You get a nice little meal, and even though it was only a couple of hours flight, it was quite a decent flight really. Gracias. Well, bippity bappity from Italy. Nice little flight there with Air Europa and a connection now with another airline. And I know what you're thinking, I'm in Rome, so I must be about to fly on ITA Airlines, the national airline, of course, of Italy. But actually, no, I'm not, because ITA Airlines are in the middle of leaving SkyTeam Alliance, so they're technically not a part of this family.
Also, he's divorced, so he's really not a part of his family.
An airline that is a part of this family, though, is probably one of the biggest airlines in the SkyTeam Alliance, and that is Air France.
Hello. Silver and SkyTeam card holders and families travelling with...
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour. Airline number 5, Air France, Airbus A320. Oh, crap. Now this flight featured perhaps the tightest connection on the entire trip at the end of it, so I was really grateful that we pushed back from the gate on time. However, when we got to the runway, this happened. We just aborted the takeoff. My connection in Paris isn't looking very good, is it?
Your captain, we just aborted the takeoff for security reasons. We are dealing with it, and we should leave in about 5 minutes from now. Everything will be normal. Thank you for your understanding.
I did admire his optimism that everything would be normal, but fortunately that turned out to be correct, and we took off a few minutes later for the flight up to Paris Charles de Gaulle. I actually managed to sleep for the majority of this flight, which was pretty good, and pretty soon we were landing down into Paris, where I was really hopeful that I'd make my tight connection. Paris, France. About 20 minutes to my next flight now, so let's see if we can get across the airport and we don't miss it, hopefully. Oh, the tightest connection of the trip. Just happens to be at the world's crappiest airport for connections. Right, where are we going? It's bum bum cream. Is that if you got hemorrhoids or something? Alright, flipping heck, I made it. I think the plane's only just pulling on the stand. It looks like it's delayed a bit. Oh, thank goodness for that. Wow. Hello.
Hello.
Alright, airline number 6. Tarom, the national airline of Romania, and this is their 737-700, a bit old, a bit dated, a bit worn out, a bit tired, much like me. And much like the Air France flight, I managed to get a few hours sleep on this flight across to Bucharest in Romania. Bucharest was covered in a layer of freezing fog at this time of night, and it was absolutely freezing outside. And welcome to Bucharest in Romania. It is flipping freezing here. It's like -5 centigrade. Alright then, welcome to the Hilton Garden Inn at Bucharest Airport. I think this is quite a new hotel. It wasn't here last time I came through Bucharest, so I'm going to have me sandwich with Snickers and a bottle of wine. Hopefully knock me out and then I'll be up in the morning. Oh, good morning, and it's times like this that I'm regretting booking a 6 o'clock flight out of Bucharest after yesterday. It's 4 in the morning. I've got a flight this morning with a low-cost airline. It's going to take me up to Prague. My flight up to Prague was operated by this Ukrainian low-cost airline called Beijing Airlines. I was hoping to fly on Tarom up to Prague, but their departure doesn't leave until later in the day, and I did have a connection in the morning, so this was the best option for me to get up there. Right then, Prague in the Czech Republic, a new country for me, believe it or not. In over 1,200 flights, this is the first time I've ever been into the Czech Republic. We're on to the airline that's made this entire challenge possible, and that's SAS, Scandinavian Airlines. Most regional flights within Europe use remote stands, which means taking a bus out to the aircraft and standing in the cold. Right then, airline number 7. And the whole reason that we're doing this in the first place, really, SAS Scandinavian Airlines, up to Copenhagen on their CRJ Seat 1A. Now, this flight is operated by CityJet, the Irish airline, on behalf of SAS, despite it being in a full SAS livery, which raises quite an interesting question, really, because not all flights operated by partner airlines actually qualify for the SAS Million Mile Challenge. Just to make sure, though, I did make sure the next flight was booked on a full SAS flight over to London. Wonderful Copenhagen. A few hours here, and I've got another SAS flight to take.
Hi, welcome.
Alright, next flight, London Heathrow. Let's do this. My next flight then took me on SAS on board their Airbus A320neo across to London Heathrow. This was a really nice flight, actually, in SAS Plus, which is their kind of premium economy product. It's not quite business class, not quite economy, but you know, you get a nice meal on the flight, or at least a snack box. It didn't seem like too long though until we were on final approach to a very murky London Heathrow. Good to meet you, thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. My headphone would love to say hello.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Hello. Oh, hello. It's so lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No, not at all. I love following your adventures. And the airlines that you know all about, and then the airlines you know absolutely nothing about.
It's the fun of it, isn't it?
It's the thrill of it. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big fan. I hope you enjoyed your flight.
It was
today.
good, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting tired now, so they're all going in a blur at the moment.
So Paris, This is Noel. He is
Hey,
a
pleasure. Hey, nice to meet
really
you.
fantastic travel blogger. Yeah, so it's very lucky to have you on
All
board today.
aviation around the world. Very much.
Well, I wish you a safe onward journey.
Thank you
We're
very
on a
much.
pretty tight turnaround. I hope we haven't inconvenienced you too much.
Oh no, so yeah, have a good flight back anyway.
Sure.
Guys. Nice to meet you. Oh, they were nice, weren't they? Thank you guys. That was an amazing flight with SAS. Now, for another flight, I've got to do this connection at Heathrow. And then we're off to Virgin Atlantic, who will be airline number 8. And they're going to take me out of London. Now, SAS still use Terminal 2 at Heathrow because they used to be in Star Alliance and they haven't quite got around to switching it over to a different terminal yet. So to get across to Terminal 3, I had to take the transfer bus and then go through security once again to get to the lounge for Virgin Atlantic in Terminal 3. Right, that was fairly straightforward. I got the transfer bus over here to Terminal 3, and now we're in Terminal 3, ready to hit the lounge. Hello there, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Excellent, deploy.
Yeah.
So we're not boarding till 9 o'clock.
Okay,
so you have lots
fine.
of time to enjoy yourself here.
Thank you very much. Alright then, welcome to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse at Heathrow Terminal 3, or the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse, as it's otherwise known. It's changed a bit in here actually since I was last here. It used to have like a little spa with massages and stuff, that's gone. This used to be a gym behind me with pelotons, they've all gone, it's just extra seats now. They've changed a lot. What's not changed is they do decent food, and I've gone for a curry, of course, because I'm back in England for 4 more hours, so I'm going to enjoy a little bit of curry. This is a meti, and then I'm going to go and grab a shower, I think. Thanks very much. See ya. I do have to say, though, it is pretty weird coming back through the UK on these trips now, somewhere that I lived all my life. This was my home airport, pretty much. For years doing these trips, I'd come here and literally this would be me saying goodbye to the family for a few weeks on a trip, for example, and now, well, it's just another airport that I'm connected in halfway around the world. Hello.
Hello. Let me raise the window seat.
Alright then, airline number 8 of the SkyTeam challenge then. We're nearly halfway there now. This is Virgin Atlantic's 787. Not the best, it was an A330neo when I booked it, but now it's a 787 and I'm relegated to this not amazing business class. I mean, this is where I'm sitting. There's the bar, right just there. That's going to be fun halfway through the flight, isn't it? Now don't get me wrong, Virgin Atlantic's business class on the 787 isn't the best, but I had a glass of Bailey's, got my bed made up, and pretty soon I was fast asleep and I woke up somewhere over Saudi Arabia. This was actually a really nice flight in the end. The cabin crew were what made it. They were absolutely fantastic. Where I was sitting right near the galley area, you could really see them working as a team, which was absolutely incredible really, and the customer service was fantastic. It wasn't long though before we were landing down into Dubai in the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, back to sit down, sound check, Wilson speaking.
All right, thank you very much guys. Thank you, have a good day. Thanks very much. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, bye-bye. Alright, Dubai, airline number 7, was that complete? I don't know. Got 2.5 hours now, and then we're off on the next leg to Saudi Arabia and onwards. Hi, which Saudia, is that here? Saudi. Saudi. That's with you, there we go, thank you. In need of a few hours sleep, I decided to try and find somewhere I could find a bed. Alright, so the lounge here at Dubai offers these sleeping rooms that you can rent for a few hours. This is what you get, and I figured that I'd have a few hours sleep here because now I am running on US time. Alright then, well I managed an hour or 2 of sleep in there. Not amazing, but hopefully I can sleep on the plane now. So we've got a couple of quite chunky flights today. So the next leg then was Saudi Arabian Airlines to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Airline number 9, Saudia. This is their Airbus A321neo. It's brand new. It's really nice. Look at this for their business class. Now the only SkyTeam airline that I wasn't able to fly on this trip was Middle East Airlines. They're based out of Beirut, and unfortunately at the minute it's not the best idea to be travelling there because they're in the middle of a war. As much as it would have been nice to include them in this, I don't really fancy flying into an active war zone to get a few airline miles. Honestly, for this first flight on Saudia today, I was pretty impressed. The business class was really nice. I managed to get a few hours sleep on the ride over to Jeddah, and I woke up as we started making our approach down into Jeddah's international airport.
Thank you.
Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I think I slept pretty much the entire flight. Maybe I'll be feeling a bit better by the time we get to our next stop of Jakarta. Hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you. How are you? 2A. Alright, thank you. Alright, the next flight, Saudia 777. This is actually not too bad. Anyway, this is the 777. It's in a 222. I've got a flatbed so I can get some sleep if I want to. I might sleep for a few hours, but in America now it's 8:44 in the morning. All in all, this wasn't a bad flight really. It was 10 hours long. I slept for a couple of hours on the flatbed and then woke up and did some work for the last few hours of the flight, touching down into Jakarta after enjoying a nice mocktail, seeing as though Saudia is a dry airline. It was really nice though. Honestly, after my second flight with Saudia, well, I was left feeling a little bit more impressed than I was the first time I'd flown with them, albeit just a little bit. We were soon making our approach though down into Jakarta's Soekarno-Hatta International Airport. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Alright, Jakarta, Indonesia. That was a long old flight. As it turned out though, Jakarta immigration really was pretty easy today. I was through customs and passport control in absolutely no time and heading out to my car that would take me to the hotel here in Jakarta. Alright, made it to my hotel in Jakarta. I'm going to close my curtains, I'm going to grab a beer, I'm going to have a shower and chill out, and yeah, I'm going to try and get some sleep. Well, good morning, or should I say good evening, depending on what time zone I'm on at the minute. So I had a really good night's sleep. I went to bed when I got into my room at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's now 4:30 in the morning and I've got to get across to the airport now. Local time, of course. I am fully wide awake because in my time zone now, it's 4:15 in the afternoon. Next time I come here, I'll see you. All right, thank you. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye. The Swiss hotel is off the airport, but it's only about a 10-minute drive to the airport, and the taxis here are all really cheap as well, so you can always get a cheap ride there. Right, then my next flight takes me up to China for the first time on this trip, and I say the first time because I'm there in and out about 3 times on this trip. We're going up to Guangzhou with Garuda. Something in the way she moves, don't wanna leave in there. I'm feeling super positive and upbeat today. Like I'm ready and raring to go. You know when you've had no sleep for like ages and you suddenly get like a decent night's kip and you're like all of a sudden just bouncing? That's me today. It's going to be a good day today. I've just met somebody else doing exactly the same SkyTeam challenge as me, trying to get on all of the SkyTeam airlines. So at least I know I'm not the only crazy person doing this. Alright then, there is my ride down to Guangzhou in China, and it looks like it's got COVID because it's wearing a face mask. Hello, how are you? Thank you. Yeah. Alright, thank you.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Nice to see you on board.
Thank you.
Enjoy the flight.
Thank you. 8K.
8K.
Alright then, airline number 10 in SkyTeam. Garuda, Indonesia, and it's a 6-hour flight up to China today. And yeah, I've flown on Garuda before. It was on an older A330. It wasn't as nice as this. This is their A330 Neo. It's in this beautiful 121 config across the cabin. Really nice. I've got a little suite at the side here. Glass of champagne, hot towel, all works. Very nice. Very nice. I'm looking forward to my flight today up to China. It should be really good. Let's sit back and get settled in for the flight. It wasn't long before everybody was on board and we were pushing back from the gates for our flight up to Guangzhou in China. So honestly, my flight with Garuda Indonesia was probably one of the highlights of this trip. It was a really nice flight actually. The service on board was amazing, the food was good, the seat was incredible, there really wasn't much to complain about at all. Pretty soon though we were descending into the murk of China and the city of Guangzhou. Slots in there. There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. Welcome to Guangzhou in China. This is the first of 3 times I'll be passing through China in the next 48 hours, never entering, transiting each time. And unfortunately, pretty soon I'd come to find out that booking 3 connecting flights through China in a row was probably not the best idea. Connecting here in China is really difficult, and although you can do it and there's no requirements for visas or anything like that, the whole process of travelling through China is a bit of a palaver, really. Alright, upstairs. Thank you very much. Oh, right, finally through security. What a bloody nightmare that was. Airport security in China is like just as bad as India, really. There's like the 2 worst in the world that you have to go through. Literally, they emptied my entire bag into a tray. Everything. It's just like, really? And then she stood tutting at me because of course I had to make sure everything went back in my bag properly. And that meant I was holding up the queue while I spent 10 minutes putting it all back in my bag. Because obviously there was nothing in there that they needed to worry about, but anyway. So there's my next flight then. Tonight I'm flying on an airline that isn't based here in China though. It's not even based here in Asia. This is Kenya Airways, based over of course in Kenya, Africa. And honestly, to get Kenya Airways as part of this trip, I would have had 2 options. I'd have either had to go down to Africa, do a flight through Nairobi, or do it as this 5th freedom flight they have. It's a little bit like the KLM flight I did over in South America at the beginning of the trip. They tag it on to the end of an existing trip and you can buy tickets on this leg. Hello there, good morning, how are you? I'm good, thanks, how are you? 3A.
Can we send a business?
Yes, thank you. Hello. Thank you. Alright then, airline number 11. We're in double digits now. Kenya Airways across to Bangkok. Say this was just a short 3-hour flight, I was actually really impressed with Kenya Airways. You get an amenity kit on the flight as well as a really nice meal too, which wasn't bad at all. Thank you very much. Good night. Good night. Now my connection out of Bangkok was really tight. It was less than 2 hours, so I actually paid a little bit more to get this VIP service through the airport. It cost me $90 in total, $45 inbound and $45 outbound, but actually it worked out really easy. You get to skip all the lines at the airport and go through all of the priority lanes, which is really cool. Amazing, thank you very much. Once I'd checked in, I was taken straight through fast-track security as well, and I was back airside within 20 minutes of getting off the plane. Honestly, with this tight connection, the VIP service was worth every penny because if I'd have missed my next flight, it would have ended up costing me thousands in missed flights. Alright, thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good shift. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. It's still quite strange. So I've managed to spend 2 days now in Thailand because I arrived at 11:55 at night and I went stamped back through passport control at 12:05, so the next day. I'll be back in Bangkok again tomorrow as well, so yeah, not away from Thailand for long, but we're going back to China, then onwards and then back to Thailand and then backwards and forwards like a yo-yo for the next couple of days. We're jamming, baby. By the way, that's how Bob Marley likes his donuts, by the way. We're jamming. And yes, my next SkyTeam airline is Xiamen Airlines. We're jamming. I hope you like jamming too. We're jamming, we're jamming, we're jamming, we're jamming. Hello, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Hi there, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. And airline number 12, Xiamen Air to Xiamen in China. About a 3-hour run on this 737-800. We were soon pushing back from the gate for an on-time departure for the 3-hour flight up to Xiamen in China. Honestly, in terms of the airlines in SkyTeam, Xiamen weren't the best. The seats on the plane was really tired and dated. The cabin crew were quite nice. The food was a bit weird though. It wasn't too long before we were landing into Xiamen.
Bye.
And so once again, it was time to make a transit connection in China, and once again, it was a bit of a pain in the arse, really. Security was an absolute nightmare, and I ended up getting a bit frustrated with the security people. I know it needed to be done to get these airlines, but coming through China, I'm really regretting having all these connections through here now. It's a bloody nightmare. She literally, again, just emptied everything out, and she gave me my bag back, and there was a 20p piece in the tray that fell out. She goes, "Oh, do you not want this?" I says, "You know what, so she can keep it as a tip for doing a good job." To the lounge, got myself a can of Chinese Coke. It's that's what it is. I'm actually quite pleased that I decided not to bother coming here and doing an actual big trip, because it would have been a nightmare. I know, like a lot of other YouTubers, I got reached out to by one of the Chinese state tourism agency things, offering to pay me a ton of money to come and fly around and show people the real China in YouTube videos. I know some people took them up and did a series, like YouTube series, travelling around China, but I said no, I don't want to be doing that sort of stuff, really, and I'm quite glad I didn't, because it would have been a nightmare. All these airports are just not the greatest. Right then, time to go down to the gate and get on the plane and get out of here. Let's go. I am, yeah. How are you?
Doing the SkyTeam challenge?
I am, yeah. Are you?
No way. Yeah, following you on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
Your YouTube
Good
channel.
to meet you. Thank you.
As if. I mean, what are the odds? No way. Well, I cannot believe I'm not even kidding you. When I landed, I'm like, what are the odds? Because I know you were doing your challenge.
Yes,
so I'm like, yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to bump into you. I can't
there we
believe
go.
this. So mind if I get a selfie?
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, I cannot believe this. No way. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, nice to meet you. Thank you.
I'll continue supporting you. You make awesome videos.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Doing the SAS challenge?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Me too.
How are you?
So how many are you missing?
So I'm on, I think this is airline 12.
Okay.
So I'm doing 17. I'm doing all 17.
Oh, you're doing all 17?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't have that much time.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't realise she doesn't have to shout into it. Hi there, how are you? Thank you. Hi there, how are you? Thank you. 12A.
12A.
Thank you very much. Right, the next leg, Xiamen Airlines once again taking me out of China across to Taiwan. And so for the second time on this trip, it was time to say goodbye to China for the hour and 20-minute flight across to Taiwan. In a straight line, it's only a 20-minute flight across to Taiwan, but because of all the military operations in the area, the flights have to go a really long way round, ending up taking about an hour and 20 minutes for what would otherwise be a really short hop. The breakfast service on this flight was this really strange fish dish, which, to be completely honest, I left because it wasn't very nice. And it wasn't too long before we were arriving into Taipei, the capital city of Taiwan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, bye-bye. Welcome to Taiwan. Well, I'm staying at the Novotel on the airport here tonight, but I can't seem to find out how you get there. I think it's got a bus, actually. Novotel. Must be this one. Alright then, welcome to Taiwan, baby. Wow. Flipping heck, look at my view out of the window. Oh, I am in aviation geek's paradise. Look, we've got a taxiway right just there. There's the runway up that side. There's another runway up that side. Bloody hell, look at this. I'm going to sit and chill for a bit. I need some sleep after that little adventure. And yeah, I will speak to you in the morning or later on. Good night. Well, good morning / good afternoon. It's time to leave Taiwan today and we are heading back to Bangkok. Again, I've slept really, really well and I'm feeling really good, really positive and really happy. See whether that mood stays with us through the day.
Terminal 2?
Terminal 1, I think. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this ain't a bad bus, is it, for an airport shuttle bus? It beats the Greyhound, I have to say that. Alright then, here's my ride over to Ho Chi Minh City today. It's an Airbus A350-900. It's a beautiful livery. I do have to say, China Airlines has always been one of my favourite liveries. Hello, good morning, how are you? Good morning. Airline number 13 now, and this is China Airlines Airbus A350 business class for a 4-hour flight. Should be pretty good. It's quite a nice seat actually, very nice. It should be nice for a 4-hour run today down there to, where are we going? Ho Chi Minh City. I do have to say that China Airlines were one of the better airlines that I flew on this trip. Their A350 is absolutely beautiful inside and out. The customer service on board was absolutely amazing. The meals were good. Really, I can't find anything to fault them for at all. My 4-hour flight flew by in absolutely no time, and it wasn't long before we were on our approach into Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Thank you. Alright then, Ho Chi Minh City in Nam, baby. That was China Airlines, and now we move on to airline number 14. We're getting close to the end, and the next airline, of course, being in Vietnam, is their national airline as well now, Vietnam Airlines. Hello. Airline number 14. 3 more to go after this one. Vietnam Airlines, across to Bangkok. Let's go. The flight up to Bangkok from Ho Chi Minh City is a fairly quick one. It was only a couple of hours or so. I managed to sleep for most of the flight, and when I woke up, we were on approach once again down into Bangkok. Thank you. Bye-bye. Alright then, back in Bangkok, Thailand for 12 hours now until my next flight. It's fair to say that my fuse was running quite short today at Bangkok Airport, especially when people try to jump the line. Alright, there's a line. You generally have to queue. Alright, it's fair to say my patience today is wearing very thin, and not helped by Bangkok Airport at lunchtime, which is just full of people. Why do people get on a moving walkway and then just stop? That really freaks me off. They're literally designed to make getting through the airport quicker, not to just stand on them and go at snail pace through the airport and block everybody else who's actually trying to get somewhere. Oh, it's a bit grim down here, isn't it? This is supposedly the route to the airport hotel. Here we go. Made it to the hotel. Oh, this is it's a bit basic, but it'll do. It's for 12 hours. Morning. It's now 9:30 in the morning US time, and we're going back into China. Oh, lordy. So we're taking China Eastern today, the last of the Chinese airlines that I need to do this, and it's a flight from here, of course, back to China, which I'm not looking forward to, but we're going through Beijing today, and then from Beijing across to Seoul in South Korea. I don't know how tired I must be, but I've literally, before I woke up, just had a dream about Philip Schofield. And do you remember when he used to be in that Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat back in the early 90s? It was like part of my childhood. I just had a dream that he was standing on stage in his Technicolor Dreamcoat singing "Any Dream Will Do." Realising that dreaming about Philip Schofield isn't necessarily a good thing, I went to try and check in, which turned into a little bit of a palaver all of its own. Are you waiting for me? Oh, I'm sorry. I was sleeping.
Working there.
I'm just connecting through Seoul and then I fly back to LA.
Anyway, I suggest you to print out the ticket, connection ticket from Korean Airlines, right? Fly with KE, right, for the next flight.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Because you contact KE to print out your ticket.
Okay.
To show, because you are no need visa for China actually. You just ask Korean Airlines I think you.
Yes, okay.
To print out the ticket.
Oh, okay, they can do it here as well.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Did you show me and they can let you go.
Alright, well we're not getting on very well, are we here? I've got to go to Korean Air now because they want to see my boarding pass for the flight out of Korea tomorrow. Even though I've shown them the itinerary, they're like, yeah, that's good enough, but we want to print out as well, So now down to Korean Air, which just happens to be at the far end of the airport. Lovely. Now, of course, Korean Air wouldn't be able to do anything to help me here in Bangkok, but to humour the guy on the China Eastern desk, I went to ask them anyway.
I showed him the email.
But we cannot check in Bangkok.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's what I thought.
You have to
But-
contact.
But he said he needs a printout of my ticket, so I don't know if you can...
Actually, you just show this.
That's what I thought. I showed him that and he said, no, we need a printout, so...
You can show the itinerary.
Yeah, I showed him at the check-in, but he won't give me my boarding pass. And from Incheon to LA, yeah.
Just contact the culture and insurance.
So I have to go to there to get it. Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but...
Sorry
Okay,
about that.
sorry, he won't check me in, so that's the problem.
Yeah, something. Contact at insurance.
Okay, right, okay. I'll let him know. I'll see if he can check me in, but yeah. All right, no worries, thank you. So as predicted, the poor Korean Air staff can't do a damn thing while they're here in Bangkok. They can only print out my boarding pass and everything when I get to Seoul. So once again, it's the flights through China that turn into the bloody nightmare. It's horrendous. They can't do anything. They can't print it here. I have to print it in Seoul.
Wow.
Yeah, so he said they said this would be fine. The email. So.
They said
Just
fine,
have
but
to-
if
yeah.
your staff is not fine, okay, just
Yeah.
come in, it's right for you. Here.
All right. Okay.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Yeah. Thank you. In all my years of flying, in over 1,200 flights, I have never had that happen to me before, where they want to see an actual printout of an onward ticket from a country that doesn't really even bother and doesn't matter about it from the destination country. I could just get into Seoul as a tourist if I wanted to, with no visa or anything. But they want to see a printout of an onward ticket, which clearly I can't get because, well, I can't get that printout while I'm here. And so after all of that palaver, it was time to get on board my next flight with China Eastern Airlines. Airline number 15, China Eastern to Beijing's Daxing Airport in Beijing, China. Hopefully a bit of a smoother transit this time. This was actually quite a long flight for an Airbus A320. It was about a 4.5 hour run from Bangkok all the way up to Beijing in the northeast of China. So they made this really cute little origami thing for me. It's a phone holder. How cool is that? It's actually fashioned out of a menu card. So they've made that by hand. Very skilled, these China Eastern hostesses, cabin crew, flight attendants. Eventually, though, it was time to land in Beijing. Hi then, welcome to Beijing Daxing International Airport. This is quite a new airport. It's only been open a few years. It's the new airport here in Beijing, and this building that I'm in, it's the world's largest single building airport terminal, and it's nicknamed the Starfish because from above it looks a little bit like, well, a chocolate starfish. I do, yes. There you go. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Good, thank you. All right, the final transit of China just about done. Once again, an interesting experience. I'd already learnt my lesson. Everything was already out in the tray, but apparently this time the issue was with my KLM house. Remember that one they gave me on like literally my second flight about a week and a half ago? Every other airport has had no problem with it, but today you can't take it on a plane. So I've had to literally open the top of it because it's got liquid in it. It has like gin in it. So I literally had to open it down the entire house full of gin in front of him, which he was a little bit, I don't know whether he was impressed or concerned, but anyway, finished it. I put it back in my bag and he said, good to go. So here we are back. Oh, look at that roof there, incredible. So this is Daxing Airport. China Eastern Lounge is right just there. Hi, good morning. Chin chin. Okay, thank you. Here, would you look what I've found? I've found a little room with a curtain that you can have, and there is a chair. Look, we've got a TV that's broken, but we have a chair. Oh yes, king of the castle, king of the castle. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Look at me, I has chair. This is nice. I'm gonna sit here for a bit. Is it a reclining one? Let's have a. Oh. Does it recline? Oh yes, it's a recliner. Oh yes. Hey, now we're talking. It was a really long walk to the gate, but eventually I made it down to my flight across to Seoul in South Korea. I got to the gate and figured they must have some passionate aviation geeks in China, but pretty soon it was time to join the melee and try and board my flight across to Seoul. Alright, time to get the heck out of China. I am a YouTuber, and get me out of here. It was a fairly quick and uneventful flight over to Seoul, and fairly soon we were on our approach to Incheon Airport in the capital city of South Korea. Thank you, Eugene. Bye. Alright, Seoul, South Korea. 2 more flights left. We're nearly there now, very nearly there. I feel like my entire life for the last 10 days has just been following transfer signs. So as you've probably worked out by now, then my next flight is with Korean Air, the national airline of South Korea, and I've got a really, really nice flight with them coming up because I'm taking a flight. I decided to splurge and splash out a little bit on a first-class ticket across the Pacific. On board Korean Air's Boeing 747. This dude looks a little bit like me, doesn't it? Hang on a minute, take my glasses off. There we go. It's a match. Hi there, I need to get my boarding pass, please. Perfect.
This is the lounge match.
Amazing.
248.
Yeah. No, 248. Okay, and we're going from 250. No, 268. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Right, I got my boarding pass all checked in for the next flight back across the Pacific Ocean to LA. Hello. Next, it was time to hit the Korean Air First Class Lounge. There we go. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that is a bit fancy, isn't it? So this is the Korean Air First Class Lounge here in Seoul. I'm the only one in here. There's nobody else. Well, that was all very swish, wasn't it? Right, now it's time to get down to the gate because it's finally time to head back to the States. And so then the penultimate flight, time to head back across the Pacific Ocean to Los Angeles, California. Hello. Hello, thank you.
This way on your left.
Thank you. Hello, thank you. 3A, yes. Airline number 16, the penultimate flight. Korean Air's first class on their 747 across to Los Angeles. I need sleep. Let's get out of here. And so then it was time for perhaps my favourite flight of this entire trip, the flight back to the US in Korean Air's first class. Honestly, this is one of the best airlines I've ever flown on in first class. What an absolutely incredible experience it was to be able to stretch out and get some sleep for the 11-hour ride across the Pacific. I fell asleep just off the coast of Korea, and then when I woke up, we were soon approaching the coastline of California. Alright, we are almost back on home turf. We're flying over the California coastline right now, heading down into LA. We're back on home turf, baby, and it feels good. It feels really good. After a long trip around the world, I do have to say that landing into LA felt particularly special. My first sight of the US again being the Hollywood sign and the Korean Air Tower in LA felt pretty poignant really after this flight. I'll be good. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your trip. Thank you very much. Enjoy your stay in LA. Thank you. All right, then back on home to Los Angeles, California. One more flight left to go on this crazy SkyTeam adventure. And it's the only American airline in SkyTeam. We're going to take a flight on them next. So I have one more airline to catch in SkyTeam. Airline number 17, Delta Airlines, back home to Houston. Let's go and get on board. Hi there.
How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Feeling good. It's Noel?
Yes.
All right, have a good one, sir.
Thank you, you too. Hello. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Right, we did it. SkyTeam Airline number 17. Final one, the home straight now, non-stop back to Houston. You know, I started this trip with a brand new SAS Euro bonus account. Not a single mile was in it. I was a basic member. I was a member of SAS, and that was it. And now, by the time I get home tonight, I will be not only gold, but like halfway to their diamond, elite, platinum, whatever it is, status as well. Now all I have to do is hope that they credit the 1,000,000 miles when it's time to do that, and also hope that all the miles post properly. I really, really hope that everybody gets their 1,000,000 miles that they've been promised, really. Come on, SAS, do your thing now. We've kept our end of the bargain, now you do yours.
Local time is 11:11. On behalf of the base crew, thank you for choosing Delta. We'll see you again.
Thanks again to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to use the link in the description to get 15% off.
Thank you, take care.
Thank you, you too, have a good night. Alright, we did it. Houston, Texas, home. All 17 SkyTeam Airlines done in 12 days. I don't know, I've lost count now. But now it's time for me to go home and get some sleep. I think I've earned it. And thank you again for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Take care, be kind, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.